The forbidden, the sinful, the taboo. Behaviors that divide cultures and inspire fear. But our differences may be what make us all human.
Few taboos divide societies as fiercely as those that swirl around the use of drugs.
They destroy your insides. They affect your brain.
I'd like to see God on drugs. And I have.
Drug dealers should be executed as murderers.
Certainly drugs have real effects. So the question is going to be, what is the way of controlling those effects?
Fearing citizens will abuse them, many governments ban certain drugs. And yet others cherish these substances as essential to their core traditions. In this hour, climb high into the Peruvian Andes, whose residents have long believed that a hallucinogen called San-Pedro can mend broken lives. Sample the rave culture in Washington, D.C., where possession of a synthetic hallucinogen dubbed Ecstasy can draw a prison sentence, which doesn't stop users from experimenting with the drug's capacity to dissolve social barriers. Accompany Mexican Indians who have special permission to ingest the Peyote cactus in a ritual the faithful believe brings them face to face with their God. And wonder for what benefits and at what price would you try a mind-altering drug? Huancabamba, Peru. People here have a history of using folk medicines, traditions that have helped expand understanding of asthma, diabetes, and other conditions. But no drug is without risk. Even here, experimentation has a price.
These red spots, when did they get here? Since a week ago?
Dr. Felix Ruiz straddles two worlds, modern medicine and local tradition. After using a local plant as a remedy, this patient developed a rash.
Here in Huancabamba, we have people who are still rooted in their own beliefs in traditional medicine. And they trust it a little more.
After years of cases like this, Dr. Ruiz came to oppose drug experimentation until a fatal accident shattered his life. He received an emergency call. The ambulance was rocketing across town when a child chasing a stray marble ran into the street. The driver couldn't stop. His truck crushed the boy.
The death was instantaneous.
Worse, Dr. Ruiz and the child were related.
When I got down and was able to verify that the boy was my nephew, it really affected me.
His nephew's death destroyed the doctor's life.
I had nightmares, weeping, anguish. I had headaches, pains in my neck, pressure on my chest, and my breathing was agitated.
Psychiatrists couldn't help. In desperation, he went to the mountains, hoping to find relief in a drug ritual. Peru permits limited use of the substance, but many societies would outlaw it entirely. Dr. Ruiz drank a soup made of a cactus called san-pedro. The brew causes hallucinations, visions many Peruvians believe can change lives.
The images came and exploded, or burst in my face, and another image would appear after that, another image, and another.
By plunging into the San Pedro experience, Dr. Ruiz regained control of his life.
I started to sleep peacefully. I no longer had the nightmares. I no longer sweated at night. I slept normally.
Once an opponent of drug experimentation, this physician is now a believer in the healing power of San Pedro-induced visions. Twice each week, crowds make the pilgrimage that salvaged Dr. Ruiz's life. Some travel hundreds of miles. At the lakes of Las Huarengas, they act out a rite some societies might condemn.
When we talk about moral judgments, we're simply talking about the landscape of our own taboos.
Carolyn Marvin is a communications professor at the University of Pennsylvania.
We're assuming that other people's moral judgments are not as worthy. And this is the way that we say we're special people, we're the best people, we're the way that it ought to be. But inside other cultures, the logic works in a quite different way because their taboos are not our taboos.
In Peru, the only taboo against San Pedro is taking the drug on your own. Custom dictates a collective experience, guided by a shaman. He requires that the pilgrims cleanse themselves.
Here we've come to get rid of jealousy and bad luck. Here we remember our man. Here we leave our bad luck and bad health of our bodies.
And the reason it is guided is because the drug can be a demon or an angel.
Marshall Blonsky is a semiologist at New York University.
It's guided because of the necessity for community. The community as a whole, not isolated individuals, take the drug.
The pilgrims have brought symbols of their problems.
This is the altar. These are objects that have energy for curing. And what they're taking out are personal things, photographs, their perfumes, everyday objects that have energy for the curing.
Each pursues a different goal. Some look for love. Others have health problems. Jose Galan lost everything when his business failed. Jose comes from Paita on the coast. For years he struggled to make a living. Finally he got a bank loan to open a bakery.
We were making an average of 600, 700 breads when we first began. 600, 700 breads daily in the morning just for breakfast. But then it began to go down, down, down.
Then, disaster. Jose claims jealous neighbors wrecked his ovens.
Look, this is what happened. They've done this. They opened up the oven. It burst here and it burst there, and it practically doesn't work. Because if you make a fire, it opens up and everything falls.
He believes that by taking San Pedro, he can restore his good fortune. Before they can take San Pedro, Jose and the others must purify themselves. Apprentice shamans hand out a mixture of ground tobacco and perfume for them to inhale. The effects hit swiftly and harshly.
Pick up your business for your money, your work, all these blessings. Let's stop and raise ourselves for God. All reach for better intentions to work well. High up with your name, your luck.
Now, to cleanse their bodies. The water is near freezing.
Various steps of the ritual exist in order to sacrifice oneself in the sense of purifying oneself.
Coming up,